What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon. I got the headphones with me just in case that, it gets too insane and I've got to pop in a soundtrack or two from YouTube. I already have ending Hanaichi Monmei ready to play on standby if it needs to happen, man. So, if it needs to happen, I've got the ending on standby, or any other OST on standby, man, because you never know. With the way Srirachi's been handling these last couple chapters, we gotta have the soundtracks on standby. But what is going on, everybody? King Recon here. I'm gonna do a double to Goat Tom. I greatly apologize for not having any Gintama content since the last chapter. It's been hectic. Trying to keep up with all of these different series I'm trying to cover on the channel, and unfortunately I haven't been able to do as much Gintama content as I've been wanting to do. But without further ado, man, let's get right into the chapter, because 679, man, was one of the best chapters that I read in this year, without question. It's definitely a top 30 chapter for me from the year thus far. So let's see what 680 has and 681 has. Thankfully, I wasn't spoiled anything this time. God bless. So happy that I wasn't freaking spoiled at anything. So let's go. 680. We see Utsuro falling down into the depths. He was thought to have met his end, but Utsuro was swallowed by the Altana and erased. But he is a being originally born from the Altana, so he dissolved into the Altana. And then 2 years later, he manifested out of a different dragon hole. His body reformed, and he was revived. Caught me so off guard, man. But what dwelled within that body was not who it was before. It wasn't Utsuro. When all that happened, the one in that body was probably, don't even tell me, it was flipping Shoyo, bro. If you'll agree to it, I'd like to ask one last favor. Will you lend me a hand in the smile? Gintoki, the smile. Shoyo. Lesson 680 save. Are you Shoyo? Alright. You got me, Srirachi. You got me, man. If you want to listen along to a soundtrack, I have to play it, man. I have to play it. I'm about to press play. And okay, here it is. I'm about to press play on this song right here. So, if you have that, when you have that soundtrack ready, go pause the video if need be, come back. When you have Gintama OST 49 ready, let me know, man. I'm about to start the song in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Shoyo, man. Shoyo. Hearing that name sure takes me back. In this long, endless life of mine, I was called by so many names, as many names as lives I lived. I was both all of them and none of them, a nameless being that still doesn't know what it will become. But among all those old names, I'm a being that only remembers that one. And he takes off the hat, and the one that reminded me of that name would seem to be you, Gintoki. And it shows him carrying the child around and flipping it to where Shoyo was the one carrying him around back in the day. Going back to that statement told to Takatsuki in chapter 517. So while I have the chance, there's something I want to tell you. While I'm still me, there's something I want to entrust to you. Gintoki. What happened? He jumps. What's wrong? No. He got him. Before he could say what he needed to say. They rained it down upon him. Look again. No. Kin has... Why is Gintoki so freaking punished, man? So no matter what, bro, he can't win. He always has to witness this man's demise. He finally has Shoyo in front of him. Shoyo wants to entrust something to him. And these spears from the Naraku just come down and decimate Shoyo, man. My, it would seem quite a hindrance has appeared. As I thought, it seems the seeds have already sprouted. Take back our master. Yeah, Shoyo immediately, he rips it out. He's like, you think this is gonna stop me? He takes it, the one that impaled his chest. It was like it even impaled his heart. And he just, sorry, but I will not give him back to you. I won't let it repeat anymore. Let it know, Shoyo, let him flip it. No! His heart. And that's how Gintoki got it. That's how Gintoki got his heart. Was because he took it out, you know, so that means he was stabbed in the heart. So he grabbed it, he took it out while he was still Shoyo, and proceeded to give it to him. That's what he wanted to entrust to him, bro. Of course. This is the current me's heart. Without this, not only will I not be immortal, I won't even be able to maintain my body. Utsuro, we cannot be left in this world. I'm entrusting it to you, son of a flipping flagnard, bro. Why does Gintoki always have to witness this, man? And they come down, the end and the future. And that explains why the Naraku won't stop chasing after Gin. But Shoyo trusted it, bro. He trusted it in Gin. Shoyo's heart. I'm sorry for being a burden to the very end, but I'm glad I got to see you again. They killed him, didn't he? And Gin falls into the sea. Yo, man. One of these days, man, I gotta box Sriracha or something, bro. I really do, dog. Like, Gintoki can't win, man. So no matter what light presents itself in my man's way, something else comes up in there, man. But even in all this darkness, there's still light, yo. There's still light. Shoyo entrusted his heart with him. He entrusted his last wish once again, just like the last time with Gintoki. Same way he's 519. Now Gin has to carry this thing around. Not only does he have to shoulder a burden, not only does he have to carry that burden, but now he's physically carrying the manifestation of his heart around, being chased like he has the freaking brand that Guts carries around in Berserk, constantly being chased by the supposed disciples of Utsuro. Man, yo, that line where he said, out of all the names, there's one that I've always been close to me, man. And that's Shoyo. The one that reminded me of it was you. Utsuro lost his body in a battle 2 years ago, but the mass of Altana remaining in his body fused with the dragon veins Altana formed a crystal. With that as a Yorishido. Yorishido is a Shinto term for an object that a spirit or a kami is drawn to or occupies. His body was restored. In other words, as long as we take his heart, Utsuro won't be revived again. For these past 2 years, it looks like the remnants of Naraku have been maneuvering in secret in order to revive Utsuro. But that personality inside Utsuro gouged out his own heart and entrusted it to me in order to prevent that. I've been wandering not for the Yodozuya, not to save the world, but to save him. But to save him, bro. But in the end, I just ended up getting saved by him again. That's facts. Just what exactly is the saving you're talking about? Do you mean doing a sensei ass to end him along with Utsuro so the world will not be destroyed? In that case, why do you take such care carrying that thing to the point where you're constantly being chased? Is there a way to destroy it? Is there a way to dispose of it somewhere that no one else will ever reach? There should be other options. Or is just wandering around your decision? Then why not simply return the heart to Utsuro? Takatsuki, you asshole. If you can see Sensei again, that doesn't sound too bad, right? Though it will be a bit of a gamble whether Utsuro or Sensei shows up. You don't take that so seriously. I have no intention nor the need to make such a gamble. What do you mean? There's no reviving to be had. Because his body is still alive. They're keeping my boy in one of those, they're keeping Shoyo, or at least the vessel, the body of Utsuro in one of those, oh man, it was one of those tanks. It reminds me of that one tank that Goku was in back in Planet Namek. You know what I'm talking about, guys? The one that they kept him in, where he was, you know, receiving all the oxygen, and the healing process was advancing very quickly. I haven't watched Namek in a long time, but you know which one I'm talking about. If you watch Dragon Ball, you know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of like one of those healing water tanks. After you took that heart, Utsuro's body was recovered by Naraku. They've already found a way to maintain Utsuro's body even without that thing. He'll be in a state of suspended animation, but that's actually more convenient for them. Convenient, though, that's supposed to mean. Aren't they trying to take Utsuro's heart back from me so they can revive Utsuro? No, they're not. I don't know about Naraku, but at least the ones manipulating them. The ones manipulating Naraku. Hey, by that do you mean? And Takatsuki drops onto the floor. Blood. Takatsuki, why did you make your body like that? Where were you? What did you see and what did you learn there? Gintoki. Oh, what is Sugi? Utsuro is someone that saw humans continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over again for thousands of years and got so sick of it that he tried to bring about the end of the world. If we stop him, will the world be saved? It's just as he said. No. From being crucified and burned to now attempting to be, you know, to keep that body around. The world repeats its mistakes. And then, because they burned that body, and then he proceeded to come back. We stopped Utsuro, so stopping those mistakes is our duty as well, right? I'm going to take Utsuro, take Sensei back from them. Takatsuki, that's my boy, dog. Just as he said, the world repeats its mistakes. We stopped Utsuro, so stopping those mistakes is our duty as well, right? I'm going to take Utsuro, take Sensei back from them. Alright, let's go. Next page. This is the good thing about having the next chapter. Phoenix. Sorry. It looks like I'm not going to be able to return your bones to the grounds of Shoga Sonjuku. Before I die, there's one more thing I need to do. I can't let it end like this. They must be. He's talking about the Tendoshu, right? He's talking about the Tendoshu. The Tendoshu. Look at Sugi. Look at Sugi. The eye. I mean, bro, that is the eye of someone. I mean, who he sees his you know, the one thing in this world that he despises most, yo. And he looks at him with no hesitation, brings out the blade. He's about to decimate him, yo. And he just whoosh. It's like, there's one thing, I can't let this go on. I can't let this go on, man. Says screw that. Get him out of here. Rack some one-shots. Look at Sugi. Look at Sugi. Hold on, bro. I gotta save this panel. Sugi looks way too goat in this panel right here, man. I gotta save this panel. He falls down in front of him. Sugi's just standing above him, man. Menacingly. There's still one that would look at us Tendoshu with such eyes, but most likely will not be able to answer your desires. As we are now, we have no power. Not only is there no value in killing us, we don't even have a way to die. So what? I don't care in the least about what you bastards have ended up as. My left eye knows. It knows what you did. And what I must do. I haven't changed. If you don't know how to die, then allow me to teach you. When I die, I'm taking all of you with me. Yo, Shinsuke, man. Quite a cruel thing to say. they are no more than pawns. Man. Ooh, pseudo dog. And it's like a physical, like it shapeshifts into him. The one that dragged your disciples into such a fate was me, was it not? If you want to kill someone, then go ahead and kill me. But along with that, blood elements of me are already being scattered all over this country. Man, can you imagine seeing that? That's like seeing your worst nightmare, man. Like, if you guys ever watched Evangelion, there was that one scene in Ray 3 where it was pretty kind of similar to this in terms of, you know, with the multiple rays showing up in the water. It was a very, very spooky scene. It's honestly one of the more one of the more spooky scenes in the Evangelion series. But yeah, man, Utsuro just pops up multiple times, man. Along with that, blood elements, we are already being scattered all over this country. Can you imagine how Takatsuki must feel seeing all of this, man? I mean, the mass and mixed amount of emotions inside of him right now. With you dying so soon, will you be able to nip every butt? This is the path you all chose. The suffering will not end. The sadness will not end. You humans made another mistake. And Sugi closes, he opens it, and he sees just, it's like it's all in his head, yo. It's like it's all in his head. It's killing him. It's haunting him, man. It's haunting him at this point. You know when something haunts Takatsuki to the point to where he has to rub his eyes. You know when something is just so out of this world that you have to rub your eyes to make sure that like what you're seeing is factual? What you're seeing is real? Takatsuki Shinsaku just had that moment, man. I just call him Takatsuki Shinsaku. Takatsuki Shinsuke. Hey man, history, yo, history, bro. Flippin' history. Do you still not understand? Your enemy is no longer me. Son of a flagnard. It is you, humans. Takatsuki gets stabbed right through the chest. So that's why he was coughing up blood. Bro, look at how many times they stabbed him. Hold on, coach. Somebody said Takatsuki was near death. And then he had to. So that's what he meant. Back when Kentucky first saw him again. He had to take Utsuro's blood. I mean, that was something that we already speculated. But in order to keep himself alive, he had to do it. He had to do it. But if a piece of Utsuro, if that is factual, and he ingested Utsuro's blood, then wouldn't that mean that Takatsuki also has to die? In order for Utsuro to actually be gone? In order for him to actually be gone from this world completely, doesn't Takatsuki have to die too? It's only if he did it, man. It's only if he did it. But the bastards, bro, you can't do this to the goat, man. They just stab him multiple times. Well, let's go to the next page. Yo, this first page right here reminds me of a freaking Detective Conan panel. Straight up black limousine riding up. You can hear the Black Organization theme playing in the background, man. I don't know why I find that so funny. Does this planet have a custom of not visiting graves after nightfall? It's not a strictly decided one, but since time immemorial come nightfall, we are told to take them out. Take what out? Well, I see. Perfect. Yo, Zura, man. And including that man, why don't we exchange some old stories? My friend from Earth. Tokugawa Nobu, bro. Knob, man. Yo, when that chapter gets animated, man, that was the last time that I legit shed tears for Gintama was that chapter. That chapter destroyed me, man. That chapter decimated me, son. That was the last time that I just could not stop, like, the tears from falling, bro. Because you know, it was both an appreciation for Sorachi as a writer and like the beautiful storytelling that was taking place before my eyes, but also because I was really getting emotionally attached to Nobunobu. And the fact that I shed tears to both Shige and Nobunobu is just a testament to how good of a writer Sorachi is. For the same man who took out Shige, whom, you know, you should hate, man. You know, he's a massive heel. You end up shedding tears for him whenever he dies, man. Such a beautiful scene, bro. Whenever he shows up to retrieve him. Regardless, that's not this chapter, but shout out to Nobunobu, man. Can't even call him Nob anymore. Even though that will forever be his nickname, but Nobunobu greatness, man. It's been 2 years since then. You did well to create this out of that mountain of rubble. I am endlessly surprised by the strength of you Earthlings. No, we would have been helpless alone. Shijaku, if it were not for your help, the Edo of today would never have materialized. We cannot thank you enough for taking responsibility and cleaning up after the war in Ensho's place. If you hadn't made it clear where responsibility for the war laid, and called on foreign countries to send reparations and aid to our planet, this country would have undoubtedly fallen. You called the cooperation? It pains me to disagree, but what we did was nothing short of atonement. As the ones that started that war, as the ones that could not stop those mistakes, we spent these past 2 years thinking of nothing but finding what was in our power to repair. We will not repeat that mistake again. It is for that end that we have all poured all of what we have into these 2 years. But my Earth friend, somewhere along that huge mistake, we may have already overlooked them. The seeds of a mistake that connect to today. It happened again? Yes. On both planets Sodai and Tenkai, there have been large-scale acts of terrorism targeting the gates. And without exception, a large amount of Altana was stolen from the other planets. These make 13 countries in total. We still haven't the slightest idea how they did it, or what the organization is that is carrying out these acts of terrorism spanning across multiple planets. The people of those planets that committed the crimes had no connection to each other at all. They just suddenly formed a cabal one day, carried out the terrorism, and committed suicide. Or that's what we thought. But while searching for their true identity and for the missing Altana, we found something. Would that be this? Katsura, is that? If you know your history, you should know. In the times of war, disaster, famine, and chaos in the world, the thing humans always depend on is religion. Yo. But religion misleads people as well. Tengenism. All of the ones that carried out those acts of terror were followers of that religion. That flag, or that bird, it looks a lot like the Tendoshu mark, right? That mark looks a lot like the Tendoshu mark. Tengenism. For the original organization was a religion of remote planets that worships the power of planets Altana. But spanning many planets, it absorbed several other religions and transformed into something completely different. Though that's not important right now. What's important is that idol they worship. That thing that appears to be a bird clad in flames. Ah, the chapter title, Phoenix. It is known as a divine beast, which oddly enough holds the same meaning in our country. A phoenix. In other words, it means undying. Shijaku, the reason these Tengenists that are committing these acts of terror all over and gathering Altana is because what they worship is Utsuro, isn't it? The phoenix himself, man. The one that never dies. They look at this thing, they look at him as this savior, as a god, as they say. You know, as this thing that can bring them together. Flagnards, bro. And that's what they are preserving his body. He's more of a symbol now than anything. He doesn't even need to live. He could just stay there in a suspended state of animation. Just like what Takatsuki was stating. So they don't want to kill him. They just want to keep him there as a symbol. Flagnards. So you already put together that much, but then as I'm sure you're aware, yes, Tengenism is spreading to Edo as well. The reason propagation of Tengenism has been so explosive is all the war that's occurred. All the universe-scale battles that have happened over the past 2 years due to Utsuro took people from many. They want to take back their lost families, friends, and loved ones. If there's someone that can make those hopes come true, they'll embrace whomever that may be. What drew them in was a belief in immortality, the being called Utsuro. So, yo, man, they want to take back lost families, friends, and loved ones. If there's someone that can make hopes come true, they'll embrace whomever that may be. They're trying to look for a miracle, man. And who else could bring a miracle than somebody who's caused a miracle many times? Someone who's constantly resurrected himself, and you know, is basically an undying. It's like a phoenix, continues to be reborn. The impetus for it was that event 2 years ago. The incident where part of the Liberation Army rebelled under the veil of secrecy. Look at Takatsuki's blood, man. My boy got stabbed, bro. Look at the amount of blood, bro. That power cannot be allowed to continue to exist. That blood is not something that humans can handle. For it to repeat again, do they intend to make Sensei keep suffering? Am I not able to save Sensei again? Move. Please just give me a little time. I can't drop dead just yet. In his blood. Oh, bro. Yo, it's all or nothing. Lend me your strength. And he stabs the very thing, and he puts it through himself. Senior disciple, for our master. He throws away his humanity, so he did it. He did partake the blood. He does have the blood of Utsuro within him. It's all or nothing. Lend me your strength, senior disciple. Yo, I didn't expect him to go out and that's why he carried that thing around. Straight up, man, from Oboro, bro. Stabs it to himself and gets it into him. Man, yo, but you know what this means, guys. This means Takatsuki's gonna have to die before the series ends, bro. In order for Utsuro to truly be gone, in order for the being that is Utsuro to truly be gone, now that Shoyo is also taking in his blood, or now that Takatsuki is also taking his blood, now end of series, Takatsuki has to die as well. Oh my god, man. What an interesting couple of chapters, though, man. Seriously. This entire chapter, with the focus on their religion, of the Tendoshu, and how this thing has lasted for so many years. The being that it looked to, this phoenix, is Utsuro. They follow it no matter what, and they won't allow it to fall into anybody else's hands. Even just to keep it there, man, suspended. It's quite something. But Gintoki having to witness that again. He takes that heart he currently has with him. They're constantly chasing after him. Takatsuki states that he will be the one to save Sensei from them. But he knows that it's inevitable that he's gonna have to die by the end of the series, man. I'm not ready for that chapter. No. There's no amount of preparation that can prepare you for that. I just hope that it doesn't happen again. Because if Gen dies, bro. So Zura has a conversation. Man, Nobu, man. But Zura understands. He knows. And then Takatsuki proceeds after he gets betrayed and stabbed. Man, that one scene with Takatsuki looking at all those, like in his mind, seeing all Utsuro everywhere, man. Realizing what he has to do. It just haunts him. And then we get right here into the last 2 freaking pages. Takatsuki says, I'm not gonna allow Sensei to continue going through suffering like that. He tells Oboro to forgive him. He proceeds to take upon the burden as well. Man, bro. This is crazy stuff right here, guys. By the heavens, man. Like, never in a million years, just on a serious note, Never in a million years, whenever I first went through Gintama on that first run, and I stopped at episode 201, and, you know, came back all these years later, even whenever I first caught back up during Shogun Assassination, I never in a million years would have imagined that Sriracha would have given us this type of story, man. It's very, very interesting. Very, very... I'm really, really enjoying this epilogue, man. This epilogue, after post-Silver Soul, everything that's been taking place at the moment, I don't even know if you can call this part of Silver Soul. Regardless of what this portion of the story is, man, it's very, very interesting. The concept of all these different things that are taking place. Gintoki taking the burden. The same burden that Shoyo took on. And then him having to take on the burden once again of a student. And then Takatsuki proceeding to also do something similar to Gintoki. To where he now carries a burden thanks to wanting to save his master. Like, none of this Gin have to carry one. But Takatsuki carries one too, man. Technically, Takatsuki also carries a portion of Utsuro inside of him as well. Not just his heart. And now Takatsuki and Gin are going to work together on this thing, man. What a couple of chapters of Gintama, guys. Seriously. I mean, it's not like... I don't want to say it changes the game, because it's something that's been led to throughout, like, the entire series, right? But it definitely changes the end game for me. Because for so long, you know, I really kept the hope that Takatsuki would survive. You know, maybe even have a kid with Matsuko. I don't know, man. I don't know. Man, dude. But these two are carrying a burden, and they're not even with their families, man. Like, he's not with his Keitai. Toki's not with the Yorozuya. It's just them two. It's just the two leaders. The brothers. In this together, man. I love the way this chapter ends with even throwing away his humanity, man. For the sake of saving Shoyo, for the sake of saving Utsuro, for the sake of not allowing him to go through it again. He's willing to risk. He's willing to throw away everything. He's willing to throw away everything that he's known and loved, man. Because even though he despises this world, there are things in the world that he still loves. Man, yo. I'll see y'all next time. Have an awesome sauce of a day. I really need to get back to playing Gintama Rumble, because now I really want to play as Takatsuki. I really, really want to play as Takatsuki, man. So, and I'm still off on 4 Devas, or, yeah, I finished Yoshiwara, and I need to get on 4 Devas, man. I need to play Gintama Rumble, man. But anyways, guys, God, can you imagine when all this stuff gets animated? Gintama greatness, man. I will see y'all next time. What a couple of chapters.